pillow.
Questions for Venus, please. Question here.
Hi, Venus. I'm Marcellus Jones, fashion editor and founder of Fashion Insider TV. So we have a question about your style and your influence on current streetwear that's going to happen. You've been known to cause quite a stir with some of your attire in the past, particularly in 2010, and it's had an immediate impact on sales. So can you tell us, what is your thought process that goes into the attire that you're going to be wearing for a major slam?
For the slams, I think I design more or less for the city. I'm always thinking, oh, this has a Paris feel, or this has a New York feel, or this feels more like Australia. Wimbledon's always white. So I'm definitely deeply influenced by the culture of where I'm playing.
Okay. Ben?
How are you feeling at the French Open? This is your 20th time here. How much of that feels like all positive experience that builds on itself, and how much is, you know, too much? Or I don't know if it's at some point, you know, Sam Stosur was in here earlier and was saying that she thinks sometimes the young kids don't know what they don't know, and they're just sort of go out there and be braver and unburdened by things. But you have obviously so much experience. I just don't know what the pros and cons you think of that experience might be.
For me, experience is only a plus. I feel like push come to shove, for all, I'm going to have the experience of what it's like to be in that situation. For a young player, maybe this is their first third round, but I've played a number of them, so it's going to feel less climatic to me. It's going to be, hey, I want to win this title. It's not like, oh my God, third round's amazing. So that gives me an advantage. I see it as an advantage for sure.
Venus, another very solid performance today. How important is it, like going into the second week or into the fourth round, to be rested, but also to be maybe tested to a certain degree, just going forward to see where you're at on court?
Yeah, I'm not looking for any tests. I'm looking to run away with it. My goal right now is to improve every round, and I feel like today I improved even more in the last rounds and play the big points well. So I feel confident that the next round is going to be another opportunity to improve and to play better and to play better. That's like my focus at the moment.
Sandy?
The weather was a little bit dodgy out there,
Yeah.
some rain and everything. And this week's been hot and humid, so how was that change?
I was definitely ready for it to come down. There was even a massive lightning strike during my warm-up, and it never came, so that was amazing. And I expected it to be cold when I walked out there, so I was all ready for like freezing, and it was still warm. So definitely some unexpected weather, and I hope it holds.
Venus, you've made some fun comments about being an aunt and so forth, but then a little bit more of a serious side. I mean, your family is one of the extraordinary success stories of American families. It's big, it's blended, many different chapters, some real hardships, and some real bonds. Just talk about the dynamic and, I don't know, the culture, the feeling of your extended family and what it's meant to you as a tennis player.
What? What's the question? Extended family?
Well, I mean, I meant your dad, your mom, your half-sisters or step-sisters, just, that's all.
Oh, I can't say I understand the question. I'm sorry. But yeah, anybody who's been in my family has been so supportive. I love them. And that just sums it up. All my heart is with them and theirs is with me.
And it's been a big factor in your tennis. It's helped you sustain your career?
I absolutely think so. I mean, it helped to start my career, for sure. And then once you start, hopefully it's a strong finish. So far, strong.
Yes, how would you describe your relationship with this tournament? It's a long-term relationship, 20 years at this point. You haven't lifted the trophy here yet, but do you feel like it's still one that you have hopes for? Has it been frustrating, or overall, just if you had to sort of describe how you feel about the French Open to somebody compared to other events, maybe?
I've played well here a number of times, and sometimes it didn't work out. I think sometimes the clay can be tricky, and sometimes player catch fire. Sometimes you don't have a good day. I think this year I'm playing really well strategically, and I'm enjoying it. So it feels like a good thing.
Your next opponent, you played her last year, here, the same round, and it didn't go well. How can you?
Yeah.
Was supposed to make you laugh, but I just failed. So can you just break down the matchup with Timea Basinski?
Yeah, she's had great results in this tournament 2 years in a row, and last year she played flawless, so she deserved the win. This year, of course, I have an opportunity to play better, and that's what I'm going to try to do.
Venus, over here. When you look back on kind of how you have evolved as a competitor, specifically at the majors, do you think there are stages, like how you maybe approached slams at the very beginning and then how you approach them more towards the middle of your career, how you're approaching them now, and how has that evolution kind of been?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I just try to win the match. Pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Venus, you've enjoyed lots of success over a number of years. What gives you that competitive edge? Why do you still want to compete at the top level? You don't need to.
Yeah, because there's really no reason to stop. Like, I've got to have fun out here, and I enjoy it. I love it. I'm good at it. So why not?
Venus, Timea Baczynski, what do you think? What makes her dangerous in her game?
I think she does everything well. I mean, hits the forehand, backhand, and well. She can come in, can play offense and defense, and she's obviously a fighter. So all the things you need to do to be at the top of tennis.
Venus, over the years, you've had ups, you've had downs, you've had successes that are unparalleled in many ways. But could you tell us, throughout all of these experiences, one understands that one has not the right to enjoy the good without first knowing the bad. What do you think these things have taught you about yourself as a person from a philosophical point of view, please?
What taught me what things?
Life experiences, the good with the bad. What do you think you've learned most about yourself as a player and as a person?
I think what I learned was that you can accomplish more than what you think you can. And sometimes you think that there is a limit, even though I believe there is no limits in life, but mentally sometimes you can subconsciously have one. And I've learned that there's so much more you can achieve than you even think. So, and it's still ongoing.
Thank you.
Venus, thinking back to that match against Baczynski here last year, what are your memories kind of that match? It was, I think if I recall, yeah, it was a wet couple weeks, but what are your memories of that match?
I have to think about it now because I've kind of let that go. So obviously I'll process what I remember of that match and try to make some differences. I mean, I haven't even really seen her play since that day. So I'll have to try to remember how she plays as well. So there'll be definitely some thoughts that go into preparing for this next match.
Venus, just on that, in terms of keeping your belief and never, underestimating yourself, is that aided at this next major by what you were able to do in Australia, reaching that final and having the first final in a number of years? And is it tougher ever to get that same confidence and belief up here? Because this is, like you said, a surface that can be tricky for you.
I don't know. I mean, I've played well in a lot of tournaments, and I just feel like at every tournament I'm coming out to win my match, and I just keep it pretty simple,
Okay. Any more questions?
Thank you.
No, we just got 3 quick questions here as well, because everybody.